Some people call the University of Oklahoma QBU, and why wouldn't they? The Sooners have produced 3 starting NFL quarterbacks in the last 4 drafts, including 2 number 1 overall picks. And it doesn't stop there. Oklahoma has produced some of the most prolific college quarterbacks in recent memory. So it got me thinking, at QBU, who would be all-time QB1? To do this wasn't going to be an easy task, and I really wanted to be as objective as possible, so I broke everything down into 4 different categories: longevity, statistics, awards, and team success, with a maximum of 5 stars for each. Let's jump right into it with number 8 on my list, and that is Steve Davis. Davis appears on Oklahoma's roster from 1971 to 1975. He played 3 full seasons, appeared in 34 games, giving him 4 stars for longevity. Davis's stats weren't eye-popping. Over his career, he rushed for 2,058 yards, 27 touchdowns, and threw for 1,973 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. Now, I do realize this was a different day and age in football compared to now, but I'm giving him 2 stars there. Another big handicap for players in the 70s and 80s is the awards. There just weren't as many awards given in those days. I couldn't find any awards for Steve Davis, but I will say an impressive fact is he does hold the NCAA record for win percentage at quarterback, 95.6%, but I had to give him 0 stars for awards. Speaking of win percentage, team success is where Davis really shines. In 1973, he led OU to a 10-0-1 record. They were Big 8 champions that year, but had a bowl ban due to NCAA probations. In 74, the Sooners were 11-0, Big 8 champions once again, and AP Poll National champions as well. They still had a bowl ban, but they were the only undefeated team in the nation. In 1975, Oklahoma went 11-1. They were Big 8 co-champions, Orange Bowl champions, and consensus national champions. So at the end of the day, Steve Davis goes 32-1-1 with 2 natties and potentially could have had a 3rd if it wasn't for the bowl ban in 1973. That's 5 stars, no doubt, and honestly, probably the most successful quarterback in the history of college football. Davis ends up at number 8 on the list with 11 stars. Again, those stats and awards really hold him back. A bit of a byproduct of playing football in the day and age that he did, but that's what makes it so difficult to compare these players over different times. Number 7, I have Josh Heupel. He played in the 99 and 2000 seasons, starting 25 games for the Sooners, giving him a 2-star rating. Heupel put up some pretty pedestrian stats at Oklahoma. Pretty good completion rating, 50 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. He also rushed for 12 touchdowns, so I give him 2 stars here as well. Despite his stats looking kind of mediocre, Heupel did win a couple of awards. He was a 2000 AP Player of the Year, he was a consensus All-American, the Walter Camp Player of the Year, and he was 2nd in Heisman voting. That season that he got 2nd in Heisman voting, by the way, 3,600 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and 7 rushing touchdowns. Again, very different than this day and age when you're trying to win the Heisman, but when it's all said and done with his awards, I gotta give him 3 stars. Heupel started off his Oklahoma career in 99 with a 7-5 season and a loss to Ole Miss in the Independence Bowl, but finished strong. 2000, 13-0, Big 12 champs, winning against Florida State in the Orange Bowl, and winning that BCS National Championship, the latest one that Oklahoma's won. Hey, you win the Natty, you're getting 5 stars. Putting it all together, Heupel ends with 12 stars, getting him to the number 7 spot. At number 6, I have Melvin Holloway. He played for Oklahoma from 1985 to 1988. He was a part of the team for 47 games, started 34 of them, giving him 4 stars for longevity. Oklahoma ran a very different style of offense in the 80s than they do currently, and it was based on running the football. Holloway shone in that offense, 2,713 yards rushing, 32 touchdowns, 2,339 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. His completion rate wasn't all that good, but let's be honest, the style of football that Oklahoma played, Holloway was a perfect quarterback. I had to give him 3 stars here for his stats. I was kind of surprised to see that Holloway didn't win any standout awards. Although this was a different era, there were far fewer awards being given out. I had to give him 0 stars here. Finally, when it came to team success, in 1985 he led Oklahoma to an 11-1 season, Big 8 champions, consensus national champions with a win versus Penn State in the Orange Bowl, and he was the first true freshman to lead a team to a national title. In 86, the Sooners also went 11-1, were Big 8 champions, and beat Arkansas in the Orange Bowl. 87, very similar, 11-1 again, they were Big 8 champs, but they lost to Miami in the Orange Bowl. And in 88, Oklahoma went 9-3 and lost to Clemson in the Florida Citrus Bowl. Now, Holloway didn't start each of these games through his time in Norman, but as a starter, he finished with an impressive 31-3 record and a national title. That's 5 stars. Holloway finishes with 12 stars. I gave him the edge over Heupel, who also had 12 stars, because Holloway was with the Sooners for a longer period of time, landing him at 6. The number 5 spot on this list goes to Kyler Murray. Murray played for Oklahoma from 2017 to 2018. In 17, he backed up Baker Mayfield. He was a starter for the whole 2018 season, but he appeared in a total of 21 games for the Sooners, giving him 2 stars for longevity. In the time that Kyler Murray did see the field, he was electric, almost a 70% completion rating, 4,720 yards passing, 45 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, with over 1,000 yards on the ground and 12 touchdowns. Now, almost all of this was recorded in the 2018 season, where he was number 1 in total yards and touchdowns responsible for in the entire NCAA, and he led the league in pass efficiency rating. That's good for 3 stars. Kyler collected a lot of awards during that 2018 season as well. Heisman, Davey O'Brien, Manning, and AP Player of the Year. That gives him a 5-star rating. Regarding team success, in 2017 he didn't contribute all that much, so the focus is on 2018, where he led the Sooners to a 12-2 record. They won the Big 12 title game against Texas, but did lose in the college football playoff semis to Alabama, giving him 3 stars there. All in all, Kyler Murray gets 13 stars, putting him at number 5. Number 4 on this list is Landry Jones, who really doesn't get enough credit when it comes to quarterbacks at Oklahoma. Let's start with longevity. From 2008 to 2012, Landry was on the team. In 08, he redshirted, and he started 4 straight years after that, taking over for an injured Sam Bradford in 2009. No doubt, this is 5 stars for longevity. Now, when you're starting for 4 years in this modern Oklahoma offense, you're going to put up some stats, and that's exactly what Landry Jones did. 16,646 yards, 123 touchdowns, and 52 interceptions. He's number 3 in the NCAA career passing yards list, number 1 in the Big 12 list, number 7 in the NCAA career passing touchdowns list, number 3 in the Big 12, and number 3 in NCAA history for total career yards. Again, the leader in the Big 12. He's also Oklahoma's career passing yards and passing touchdowns leader. His name is all over the record books. You have to give him 5 stars for stats. Landry Jones did win an award in 2010. He was given the Sammy Bow Trophy. That's good for a star. Team success is really a big reason I feel that Landry Jones doesn't get the credit he deserves as a great quarterback in Oklahoma history. In 2009, the team went 8-5, finished the year with a win versus Stanford in the Sun Bowl. In 2010, the Sooners went 12-2, were Big 12 champions, and ended the year with a win in the Fiesta Bowl versus UConn. In 2011, a 10-3 season with a win in the Insight Bowl versus Iowa. And then he capped it off in 2012, going 10-3, Big 12 co-champions, and a loss in the Cotton Bowl to Texas A&M. Over Landry's career, he went 40-13 with 2 Big 12 titles, 1 New Year's Six Bowl win. That gives him 3 stars. Overall, Landry Jones finishes with 14 stars and the number 4 rating. At number 3, we have Sam Bradford, who was on the Sooners from 2007 to 2009. Unfortunately, his final season was cut short due to injury. He played in 31 games for the Sooners, giving him 3 stars for longevity. When Bradford did see the field, he was a problem, completing 68% of his passes for 8,403 yards, 88 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. In 2008, he was number 1 in passing touchdowns with 50. He was number 1 in pass efficiency rating and led one of the most dominating Sooner offenses of all time, giving him 4 stars for his stats. Bradford also collected some awards during the 2008 season, winning the Heisman, the Davey O'Brien, AP Player of the Year, and a Sammy Ball, 5 stars. The 2007 Sooners went 11-3. They won the Big 12 title game and lost to West Virginia in the Fiesta Bowl. And in 2008, Oklahoma went 12-2, again winning the Big 12 title game but losing to Florida in the BCS National Championship. So in basically 2 years, Sam Bradford went 23-6 with 2 Big 12 titles, 1 quote-unquote New Year's Six bowl appearance, and a national championship appearance, giving him 4 stars. Overall, Sam Bradford gets 16 stars, landing at number 3. A very close number 2 on this list is Jason White. White was a part of the Sooner program from 1999 to 2004. Over those 6 years, a redshirt, 2 consecutive ACL tears, and a medical hardship to get a second senior season, 79 total games. He played in 40 games and started in 31 games. It's got to be 5 stars. White put up some pretty good stats at OU. Almost 8,000 yards passing, 81 touchdowns, and 24 interceptions. Slightly under Bradford's stats, so I had to give him 3 stars here. Jason White's trophy case is absolutely packed. 2003, he was the Heisman winner, won the Davey O'Brien, All-American, and AP Player of the Year. In 2004, he won the Davey O'Brien once again, Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, and the Maxwell Award. That's 5 stars. Probably one of the best collection of awards that a player in Oklahoma history has. Now, although Jason White was on the team for 6 years, I'm going to focus on 2003 and 2004 because those were his 2 full seasons at quarterback. In 2003, the Sooners finished with a 12-2 record, unfortunately losing their final 2 games, Big 12 title game to Kansas State, and a BCS National Championship Sugar Bowl game to LSU. In 2004, Oklahoma went 12-1. They were Big 12 champs this time, but unfortunately lost in the BCS National Championship game once again, an Orange Bowl defeat at the hands of USC. Jason White finished his career 24-3 over those 2 seasons. He had 2 Big 12 titles, 2 National Championship game appearances, but unfortunately 2 losses, giving him 4 stars for team success. Jason White finishes with 17 stars, right under our number 1 quarterback. If you haven't guessed it by now, number 1 on this list is Baker Mayfield. Baker played at Oklahoma from 2015 to 2017, starting all 3 years and appearing in 40 games, giving him 4 stars for longevity. Over his time at Oklahoma, Baker completed nearly 70% of his passes for 12,292 yards and 119 touchdowns. This alone would put him at 10th all-time in career passing touchdowns, but he's actually 4th if you include his stats at Texas Tech. He only threw 21 interceptions and had the number 1 pass efficiency rating in the country in 2016 and 2017. Additionally, he rushed for almost 900 yards and 18 touchdowns, putting his total at 137 touchdowns for the Sooners. That would put him at number 2 for touchdowns responsible in Big 12 history, but he's actually number 1 because of his numbers at Tech. Baker gets 5 stars for his stats, no doubt. When it comes to awards, Baker Mayfield also has quite a collection. 2017, he won the Heisman, but he was top 5 in voting all 3 years. He won the Davey O'Brien, the Manning, the Maxwell, the Walter Camp Player of the Year Award, and the AP Player of the Year Award in 2017. Basically winning just about every possible honor he could that season, giving him 5 stars. Baker Mayfield's Sooners were great, but were never able to actually get to a national title game. In 2015, they went 11-2, won the Big 12, but lost to Clemson in the college football playoff semis. 2016, they won 11-2 again, won the Big 12 again, and beat Auburn in the Sugar Bowl. In 2017, they went 12-2, won the Big 12 title game, but lost to Georgia in the college football playoff semis. Over his career, Baker Mayfield went 34-6 with 3 Big 12 titles, 2 college football playoff appearances, and 1 New Year's 6 win, giving him 4 stars. At the end of the day, he barely edged out Jason White for number 1 on this list with 18 total stars. That does it for my list, but I want to know your opinion. Let me know in the comments section your top 5 Oklahoma quarterbacks of all time. Give me 1 through 5. I'm sure it's going to be different than my list, and I'm very curious to see what y'all think. Again, it's pretty difficult to kind of rank these guys, especially when they're playing in different eras of college football. But it was a lot of fun researching some of these players that I hadn't seen play live, like Steve Davis and Melvin Holloway. My dad's mentioned Melvin Holloway so many times before, so it was really cool to do some film study and kind of watch, see how he played, see how that Oklahoma offense played back in the day as well. As always, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there. See y'all at the next one.